After the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot and his 2 daughters found themselves fleeing to the mountains. They had lost everything: their home, their mother, their entire way of life. Alone in a cave, isolated from the rest of the world, the daughters looked around and saw nothing but desolation. Fear gripped their hearts as they believed they were the last people on earth, the last remnants of humanity. The elder daughter, in a state of deep anxiety, turned to her sister. "There's no one left," she said, her voice filled with concern. "Our family line will die with us. We can't let that happen. We have to do something, even if it seems wrong." The younger daughter looked at her sister, hesitant. "What do you suggest we do?" she asked, the weight of their situation sinking in. Their father, Lot, had been their protector, but he was old and weak, and the world around them had changed beyond recognition. The elder daughter took a deep breath and spoke the unthinkable. "We must preserve our family. We have no choice but to make our father drunk and lie with him. There is no one else. If we do not act, our lineage will end here, in this cave." The younger daughter was shocked, but in their desperation, she began to see the logic in her sister's words. "If we are the last humans alive, this is the only way," she said, reluctantly agreeing. Their fear of extinction pushed them toward a path they never thought they would take. That night, they gathered wine and gave it to their father. Lot, weary and heartbroken from the destruction he had witnessed, drank without hesitation. He was unaware of the plan his daughters had devised. When he had drunk enough to be completely unaware of his surroundings, the elder daughter went to him, and in the quiet darkness of the cave, she lay with her father. The next morning, Lot had no memory of what had transpired. His daughters said nothing, and the day passed in silence. The following night, they did the same thing again. This time, it was the younger daughter's turn to carry out their desperate plan. Once again, they made their father drink, and once again, Lot was unaware of what was happening. The younger daughter lay with him, just as her sister had done the night before. In the days that followed, both daughters became pregnant by their father. The elder daughter gave birth to a son and named him Moab. He would become the father of the Moabites, a nation that would play a significant role in the history of Israel. The younger daughter also bore a son, whom she named Ben-Ami. He would become the father of the Ammonites, another nation that would be significant in the biblical narrative. What started as an act of desperation to preserve their family line led to the birth of 2 nations. However, the story of Lot and his daughters is not one that is easy to reconcile. The moral complexity of their actions raises difficult questions. Was it survival instinct that drove them to this, or was it a profound error in judgment? The Bible does not offer a clear condemnation or approval of their actions, leaving the reader to wrestle with the implications. From one perspective, the daughters acted out of a desire to preserve their family, a core value in the ancient world. Lineage was crucial, and they believed they had no other choice. But on the other hand, their actions crossed a line that few would consider acceptable. The incestuous nature of their plan, the stain on their story, a reminder of how far desperation can drive even the most well-meaning individuals. Lot, who had been saved from the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah because of his righteousness, now found himself at the center of a deeply troubling narrative. His daughter's decision, while born out of fear and survival, led to a complicated legacy. The Moabites and Ammonites, the descendants of these unions, would later become adversaries of the Israelites, creating tension and conflict that would last 4 generations. The story of Lot and his daughters highlights the fragile nature of morality in the face of desperation. It forces us to consider how fear can cloud judgment and lead people to make decisions they would never otherwise entertain. It also reminds us of the long-term consequences of our actions. What may seem like a solution in the moment can have ripple effects that extend far beyond our immediate circumstances. As we reflect on this story, we are confronted with questions that are not easily answered. What would we have done in their place? Is there ever a justification for crossing moral boundaries in the name of survival? And how do we reconcile the outcomes of such actions when they lead to both the preservation of life and the creation of future conflict? The Bible often presents stories that are difficult, stories that challenge our understanding of right and wrong. The tale of Lot and his daughters is one such story. It does not provide easy answers, but it does offer a powerful reflection on the human condition, the choices we make in moments of fear, the values we hold dear, and the consequences that follow us long after those decisions are made. In the end, the story of Lot and his daughters is not just about them, it's about us. It's about the times in our own lives when we've faced impossible choices. It's about the moments when we've acted out of fear, when we've made decisions that seemed necessary at the time, but later left us questioning our morality. And it's about the ways in which our actions, for better or worse, shape the world around us. This story invites us to look inward, to examine our own hearts and minds. How do we respond to desperation? How do we make choices when the world feels like it's collapsing around us? And most importantly, how do we live with those choices afterward? As the descendants of Lot's daughters, the Moabites and Ammonites played a complex role in biblical history. They were both a part of the wider family of Abraham and yet often stood in opposition to the people of Israel. Their story is a reminder that the consequences of our actions are not always immediate. Sometimes they unfold over generations, shaping the course of history in ways we could never have anticipated. The tale of Lot and his daughters may be uncomfortable, but it is a story worth telling. It is a story that forces us to confront the darkest parts of ourselves, the parts that make difficult decisions in impossible circumstances. It is a story that asks us to grapple with the tension between survival and morality, between fear and righteousness. In the end, the legacy of Lot and his daughters is a complicated one. They preserve their family line, but at what cost? Their actions, while understandable in the context of their fear, left a mark on their story that cannot be erased. It is a story of desperation, of survival, and of the difficult choices that define us all.